So it's Friday morning, gorgeous, a little bit cool. It was 13 degrees when I got out of the car. It's now about 25 after 7, and Pippi and I have been walking for almost a half an hour. And I just noticed as we're here something I never saw before. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there are some houses up there at the top of that mountain. I'd never noticed that. We've walked by here many, many times, but I just happened to look up and I said, "Oh, look at it." I think it's kind of tough to see in the video, but anyway, and this morning with the sun shining and the trees and everything, it's pretty, very pretty. So what's going on? Oh my God. I've been trying to avoid the tragedy of the United States, what's going on there. Lily's basically switched from CNN to MSNBC, and when I do come upstairs to watch or to see what's going on, you want to go this way, Pip? I find it kind of strange to listen to MSNBC, but that's their choice anyway upstairs. I usually put the CBC on when I'm downstairs, and trouble is that it goes into sort of endless loop of the same material for the most part. Anyway, Trump is doing what only a wannabe tyrant, self-serving, ignorant idiot would do, and he's enabled by the Republicans. And that's why Lily asked me this morning, why isn't he out? Because of what he's doing to try to shut down the post office, and what he's doing to slow down testing for COVID, and basically getting in the way or standing aside when smart things are trying to be implemented, trying to, masks should be mandatory everywhere. Whenever you're inside any kind of a enclosed space or in a crowd, masks should be mandatory. That's what the research, the science is saying. It has a very significant effect on transmission. And yet here he is with his Republicans for the most part. There are some Democrats that are being stupid too, but by the way, the Democrats, the word is misleading. If you take a look at the history a little bit, you'll see that what the Democrats' quotes stand for is actually to the right of what Eisenhower stood for after the war. And when you look at the programs that were on the platform of Eisenhower, etc., and how he warned people about the military-industrial complex. So the term Democrat today is basically central Republican, and Republican is fascist. The word Republican today means fascist. And it's even worse than that. They're criminals. And I guess the definition of Republican and fascist is implicit that it's criminal, because it certainly isn't in the interests of the majority. So when you listen to this deliberate undermining of the post office, this deliberate undermining of the masks declaration, if I can use that term, and any of these actions that would help make things better for everybody, implementing the COVID relief program for the unemployed and the ones that are going to be evicted if they're not already, that kind of stuff. It's clearly self-serving criminal behavior and murder in the cases of those that die. Now, having said that, I did read something rather disturbing yesterday. I don't know really what it means, but in China, the research has shown that previously, let's call it recovered COVID patients have shown they're infected again. but it didn't have much information about if they were, let's call it, as sick as they were the first time. And then they also suggested there might be other factors at play besides the, quotes, antibodies. So the research, I guess, is very preliminary, but it's kind of disturbing to think if you do catch it, the worst case obviously is death, but getting to die is very, very painful, very, very difficult, agonizing kind of experience from what I've read. Now, for those that are quick to recover, we don't even know if they have a full recovery, in the sense that there are long-term implications of having been infected. And then the asymptomatics, if I recall some of the readings, that do not get a severe case, may have built up some of their immunity from being exposed to the cold viruses over, let's call it, repeated periods of time, because COVID is basically a variation of the common cold virus, the coronavirus. So there's some, some learnings that are underway, and they're being shared. I try to share them whenever I find them, and some people dispute them, or some people discard them without much thought. I find them as they accumulate, they help give a better understanding of what we're dealing with, but by no means is the mystery of the disease completely revealed. And what worries me is not only getting infected, but if we get infected, the long term, if one manages to survive. Anyway, changing topics, I went the other day with my grandson and son-in-law to a baseball park in Morin Heights about 9 o'clock in the morning. What day is today? Yeah, so it would have been Wednesday. We got there about 9 o'clock. Sammy and his dad, Patrick bought a, I don't know what you call it, but a kind of a pitching machine. And so it pitches the ball at you at a pretty good speed. And so Sammy gets batting practice. And so I tried it. And it's kind of fun, actually. I hadn't swung a baseball bat or thrown a ball basically since about 1985. And I have to admit, this morning, being Friday, I can feel a few of the muscles that I haven't used. And probably would have gone with them yesterday, except we were getting our driveway done. The job, and I forgot to do the finishing video. I'll do that sometime. Oh, look how well manicured this lawn is. My goodness. Pippi, come over here. Come over here. I don't want her to do a job on that one. Come here. She already did one job this morning. This way, Pip. This way. Come. But they must have paid, or are paying, some gardeners to look after things. And in fact, now that I look at it, most of the houses are the same condition. Well manicured, overly large for a single family home. Who knows? But back to the baseball. So I think Sammy might be going to have batting practice and field some grounders and pitching. And what I noticed is Sammy's kind of a natural athlete. You can just tell the way he's 10 now. You can tell the way he throws the ball, the way he swings his bat. Some kids have got a natural, let's call it, proclivity, talent, and some don't. Some have to develop it over time. Well, Sammy just seems to have a natural. Mind you, I think he did play baseball last year. I might have played the year before when he was 8, but I can't be sure. Okay, so I gotta go and pick this one up, but I'm gonna sign off on a gorgeous, gorgeous Friday. Hope everybody can enjoy it. The Habs are playing Pittsburgh or Philadelphia at 3 o'clock, I think, today. So I'm inclined to order a pizza today instead of doing any cooking. Enjoy the Friday. The summer is nearing its last few weeks. Hey, Pippi, smile for us. Pippi, smile. Pip. Yeah.